If the Newcastle United takeover does finally get Premier League approval, what are the 5 main things we can expect to see during the next season at St James's Park? In this video, we're going to take a look. Hello, welcome to another video on this channel. My name is Ian, and today we're going to be looking at 5 things I think we can expect to see happening at Newcastle United over the next 12 months or so if the Premier League grants the takeover. Just to be really clear here, I'm specifically looking at the 2021 season and how the club will change over the next 12 months or so. For a longer term outlook on what the takeover might mean to Newcastle United over several years, have a look at my video which I'm linking to on the screen right now. Okay, so without any further hesitation, let's begin with the first thing I expect to see if the Premier League grants approval to this takeover. So number 1 is we're going to sign some better players. This sounds really obvious, but the main issue we face at the moment is time. Even if the takeover is granted, the new owners are going to have a much more limited time to implement their initial strategy as quickly as they'd like. However, as long as the takeover is done before the October the 5th transfer deadline day, then I'm sure we're going to see the owners splash a bit of cash. And they'll do this for 2 reasons in my eyes. The first one is that they know already that the first team squad is simply not good enough, and they'll want to come in and show progression really quickly. They'll not want to even consider the prospect of a relegation battle, so improving the first team squad will be their number 1 priority. But reason number 2 is they'll want to get me and you on board. They'll want to get the fans on board. It'll be the best type of PR after 13 miserable years of Ashley's penny pinching to open the checkbook and sign some established quality players to improve the team. It's going to look really good for them, and it's going to help the fans get behind them too. That said, I'd advise tempering expectations about who would be likely to sign this summer or even in January. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it will be a gradual improvement to begin with. Don't go expecting world-class players to come and join us straight away. Number 2 is we're going to get a new manager, but what I would say is we're not going to get a new manager straight away. So we are going to get a new manager under the new owners, of course we are, without a doubt. However, because of the way the timings have all happened with this, I believe we'll begin next season with Steve Bruce in charge, regardless of who the owners are. I wouldn't expect Bruce to be around too long after the new owners come in. As soon as there's a few bad results, they'll move on pretty swiftly, I think. I just don't think they'll sack him the day they take control of the club. So don't be disappointed if that happens. Okay, the third thing we're going to see if we get these new owners is expect to see St James's Park be given a makeover. It's been neglected for over a decade by Ashley, and the ground, as we all know, is looking very, very sad. The Gallagher roof is a prime example of this, and I'd expect that to be cleaned up and painted as a starting point. The concourse areas in and around the stadium are pretty shocking too, especially when you compare them to other teams, other stadiums. Whether those clubs have old or new grounds, their concourse areas just seem to be nicer. I think ours are really dark and dingy, and they really need improving and lifting, and I'm sure they will. This includes providing fans with TVs big enough so that we can actually see what's on them. And there's a ton of other jobs that need doing around the stadium as well. I'm sure your area of the ground, wherever you sit, is exactly the same. The whole place just needs a huge makeover to give it a lift. We all know how special the stadium is, but it needs to look it on close inspection too. And one thing I'm hoping for is some Wi-Fi too. Okay, the fourth thing we're going to see with the new owner, and it's a bit of a topical one, this one, with Newcastle United's strip just being launched this week. But within 12 months of new ownership, I'd fully expect to see both a brand new kit manufacturer and sponsor. Puma signed a 1-year extension pretty late in the day due to the ongoing takeover situation. I think the club held back as long as they could, but in the end they had to kind of just extend what they had. And I'd fully expect Puma to be replaced and a far better deal put in place too in terms of money. Personally, I'd love to see Adidas make our kits once again, but to be honest, there's plenty of other really good kit manufacturers out there who I'd be more than happy to see make Newcastle shirts. A change is as good as a rest. And I'd expect this is the last season we're going to see Fun88 as our main shirt sponsor if this takeover goes through. The statement released this week regarding the extension of the Fun88 sponsorship was pretty woolly and vague, and like I say, I fully expect Fun88 to remain a club sponsor, but not the main shirt sponsor. If we get the Saudi owners, I'd fully expect a lucrative shirt sponsorship to be unveiled, with links to them within the next 12 months. This is going to help with financial fair play, if that's even going to still be a thing following the Man City decision last week, but you know, they're going to want to make more money and have a sponsor linked to them going forwards. And the fifth thing you are definitely going to see if we get this takeover through is that there's going to be a sold out St James's Park with a rocking atmosphere again. Personally, this is the thing I'm really looking forward to the most. Because as a fan, I want to be part of a great atmosphere when I go to matches, and I want people who watch the club to have belief and hope again that something good might happen. We've all taken a battering supporting Newcastle United over the past decade through the Mike Ashley era, and some have stopped going altogether, and those people who still go to games have found it increasingly difficult to get properly excited and carried away with anything. But just imagine how fantastic the atmosphere in St James's Park will be at the first match played with fans allowed in and no Mike Ashley. It'll be absolutely unbelievable, and it'll make the Scousers' recent title-winning celebrations look like a tea party with the Queen. So what do you think? Do you agree with my list, or have I missed something else that we're going to see in the next 12 months? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please consider hitting subscribe and liking this video, and I will see you really soon for another video.